One of the most powerful tools when making a Lightboard presentation is introducing digital overlays. These can be photographs, videos, GIFs, any sort of digital overlay that's going to enhance your presentation. However, in the case of, say, this music clef here, sometimes it would be best with the Luma keying that we do to have a black background and have your important information be white. That way we'd have a floating white music staff here instead of kind of this white box. How do we go about doing that? Now, of course, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of ways of manipulating the image through different software programs to do this, but I'm going to show you 3 today that work pretty slick. So the first one is going to be Microsoft Paint. It's included for free in every Windows machine, and you can easily download it if somehow you've uninstalled it. So I'm going to go ahead and drag a file from elsewhere on my computer into Microsoft Paint, and we can see this music clef just kind of floating here with that white background. If we want to invert that image, you can hit Control-A or go to Select and to Select All, and you'll start to see these like dotted lines around the image. With that done, right-click and hit Invert Color, and there you go. And now you can even see, even though it's still in the program, how this would be much more easy to draw and actually annotate versus what we had before. So then you go File and Save somewhere in your system that is going to be best. If you don't have that machine, or if you have access to other programs, I'm going to show you how to use Photoshop. Now, Photoshop is a paid program, it's not free, but many institutions, especially educational institutions, do have it bundled in as part of the institution's software package, or you can get a discount as a student or a professor if you want to get that discount. So opening up Photoshop, likewise, I'm going to do something very similar. I'm just going to drag that image from elsewhere on my computer right into Photoshop when it opens up. And we have our image here floating in the workspace. If we want to invert it, very easily go to Image, Adjustments, and Invert. Or you can hit Control-I, and just like in Paint, it's now floating in that black background. And again, you can see how easy it would be to mark that up. Finally, if you love Photoshop, but don't want to pay for Photoshop, there is an online web version of Photoshop that is not affiliated with Adobe called Photop. It has almost every single tool that Photoshop has, just in a browser and for free. So that's www.photop.com. Likewise, we can go ahead and add we can create a new project, and it'll have all the settings set out for you. You can change them at will. I'm going to go ahead and again drag that treble clef into Photop, and it automatically opens up just like Photoshop does. Then I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, and just like Photoshop, Invert or Control-I. And again, we have that final version of the clef inverted. Now, I've already done this in advance, so we can see here in our, I am using a Google Slides presentation for all of my slides here. I can go ahead and take a marker now, and if I wanted to, say, create, perhaps this is in the key of B flat, and I wanted to create a B flat, I can do that. If I wanted to talk about the lines on the staff, I can go, every good boy does fine. And I can walk through some very, very simple music things and interact, very physically with my audience as I do it. So that's just a quick run through, but if you do have any issues inverting your images, or if you have a more complex, maybe a color image, we will be dealing with that in a later video. But in the meantime, for simple black and white images, if you have any questions, we are always here to help. Email us at info@revolutionlightboards.com, and we'll help you with any of the problems that you have inverting your images.